Hi, I'm just doing a short vlog this evening about lenses and just some basic operation and optics of them. In particular, answering questions I've had from a couple of people on how does depth of field work. So what I've done is, instead of trying to explain it all in horrible detail and cryptic language and stuff that probably won't help a hell of a lot if you don't already know about depth of field, I've gone and found this tool online called the Depth of Field Simulator. It's really quite a neat little thing. I came across it a wee while ago. I strongly urge you to donate to the people that have made it if you're going to use this thing. I quite often use it a fair bit when planning out what lenses I might want to take onto a shoot. I just find it quite useful to have a quick look and see what sort of feel I might want from things, and to make sure that I've actually got enough depth of field in a shot to get everything I want in focus and to exclude things I don't want to distract the audience with. So I'll just have a quick look at it here. Obviously there's a couple of things here that they've added in recently. We can set different height characters and bits and pieces, which can be kind of useful, because they've called them man and woman and boy and girl, but the important thing is the actual height of character. So match that to an actor or a model or whatever it is that you're shooting, whether it's film or video. I'm also having a look at using this with 35mm full frame, and I'm going to have a look at using it with the 16:9 video mode, which is what we're going to be shooting with this coming weekend. What I've got here is the Samyang T1.5 85mm prime lens. It's a cine lens, so the f-stops aren't clickable. If I take the lens hood off, there's your focus ring on the front. It doesn't have a zoom, of course, being a prime lens, which is ideal for this demonstration in the software. These are an EF mount lens so it's an EF Canon mount, which goes on the Blackmagic Cine cameras I've got, and an adapter to E-mount for Sony for the A7 camera. That's the lens that I'm planning this shoot with. So as you can see here, what I've got is I can set the focal distance here to 85mm, which is the lens, and it's a T1.2. This does f-stop, so I know it's not the same, but I'll put 1.2 in there just for argument's sake. And as you can see on the image on the right hand side here, it shows you roughly what your depth of field is going to be. So you've got focus on that character and everything's blurred as hell in the background. So at the moment that's looking at being a distance of 3 meters from the actor, from the subject. Now what I'm going to do here is I want to say widen the depth of field, so I want to make sure that I can get all of my character in focus, for example. So if you have a look down here at the moment, it's showing you that it's just got a straight line down here for the depth of field. What I'm going to do first of all is move away from the character. So I've got my 85mm lens. I'm going to be looking to getting a full height shot of the subject, so what I can do is I can move further away from the actor until I've got the full body height. Now you see something happening down here on the depth of field gauge at the bottom, and you can see that there's this band here. Instead of just being a small stripe of line where you've got focus on just one little point on the face, that the depth of field is has a distance across the body. Now this is something that people, when they first get cool lenses and a full frame sensor and are able to use shallow depth of field, get stuck on, is they open the iris right up, they get pretty close and they get this really narrow depth of field, and you end up just getting one eye in focus or the nose in focus but never the full face sort of thing, and you want to try and avoid that. It looks really weird. It's you want to get the whole subject in focus, unless it is a special effects shot. So what you can do here is just don't be afraid to close the iris down a little bit, and as I do that and just take it, you don't have to do a lot. If you just take it to f2, or let's have a look at f2.8. Now if you have a look, I've actually got my entire actor in shot. I haven't exposed too much of the background. So just have a look up here at the simulator. If I go from 1.2, I'll just go 1.4 for simplicity's sake, because that's what's on the slider, to 2.8. The background does become a bit clearer, but you're going to make sure that you get more of the subject in focus. So if he moves around a little bit or sways on his feet or anything, he's not going to go in or out of the depth of field. So here's your depth of field is between 8 meters and say 9.5 meters. It's still fairly narrow. It's only 1.5 meters, considering you're looking at him being 8.5 meters away from the camera to start with. So there you go. So the point there is that, so the point being here is that as you close the iris down and make the hole smaller, which is what happens when you increase the stop number, then the depth of field gets broader and broader. So if I take that to f16, as you can see here, my depth of field is quite huge. It's about 15 meters of depth of field. So the character will be reasonably within focus that whole time. The perfect focus point is still going to be that 8.7 meters that I've got here. But everything in that gap will remain in focus. The other thing you can do, of course, and a trick that people with a limited arrangement of lenses do, is just simply move in closer. You get different effects of parallax then, so that's the lens warping the image. But if you say wanted to move closer, say to 5 meters, there we go, I'll just set that in here to 5 meters, 500 centimeters. Then you would want to use a shorter lens to get the same effect. So if you've only got a 50mm lens and you haven't got an 85mm lens, and not everybody can afford every lens, of course, so that's fair enough, then you can come to the same stop, get closer. You're going to get a little bit more warping on the image as you come in. You're going to want to open that up just a little bit more, so to 2.8 again. You haven't got that 1.5 meters depth of field. Well, you've got around about the same depth of field as we had before. So you can move closer with a different lens if you don't have the right lens to get the shot you want at the distance you want. It will change the depth of field a little bit, but as you can see, there are different ways of doing this. It depends on what lenses you have available and how much light you've got and how much you want to open or close the stop. So there you go, that's depth of field in a nutshell. The important thing is, don't worry about the stuff I've been telling you so much and listening to that. Come along and grab this calculator. Now I'll put a link below to where you can get that. It's a great little tool. It's been there for ages. They do keep it up to date and maintain it. Please do click on this donate button here that you can see, and give them a little something. They've done a lot of work to make. So there you go, that's the vlog for this evening. I hope it's useful to you. I'll look for a few other depth of field sites and some more lens information. I'll put that below as well. If there's any other technical stuff that you're wanting to know, or resources I can go and look for and share with everybody, or if you know where there's a resource that I can add into the description here that's useful, flick that to me in the comments below. I'll add it into the description, and that would be awesome. Don't forget to share this out if it's been useful. Subscribe, put a comment below, and click the like button and the notify button, and that way you'll get new things that come along as they come up. So good to see you again, and I'll do another one tomorrow. Thanks heaps. By the way, if you're interested in where I get my lenses and stuff, have a look below as well, at photogear.co.nz. is a great supplier of bits and pieces, and if you call those guys up and talk to them, they'll give you some really good information on what to get for the type of shots and work that you're doing as well. Really good advice from them. Have a good one.